Okay, my name is Kevin Dalton. There's some of you people that don't know me. I've been in the dry dock for 15 years. I can say I'm the grandfather of quality control. It's been fun working with a lot of you guys, and like the previous video, if you don't enjoy your work, you shouldn't be here. I think I have one of the best jobs in the dry dock over the years, meeting people, solving problems, and every day is interesting. And that's the attitude you should have, guys. If you're not happy with what you're doing, find something you're happy doing. Myself, I enjoy the time here, and it's a challenge every day. And with this, I'll start my presentation. It'll take about 20 minutes. And I need your participation for the first question I'm going to give you guys. And then I'll give you a quick overview of what quality does in the dry dock. Okay, I'll start by asking one question. There's a reason for this. I've been dealing with subcontractors for the last 2 or 3 years, and I find they're not where we want them, and hence this is why you're here today. And with some nurturing, with everybody's knowledge, I'm sure we can all work this out. Okay? I'll ask one question. I don't know if you guys can see this in the back, but what's QC's job? Can anybody tell me? I need 4 or 5 descriptions. Speak out, guys. What's QC's job? Inspections. What else do we do, guys?
Ensuring the quality.
Quality, standards. We do have a set of standards for all you people that don't know. ISAC standards. Materials, yes, a large part of it, guys. We'll show you how that all works shortly. What else?
Documentation.
Traceability, very important these days. The paper trail, it can go on, guys. There's lots of things QC does. NDT, we never mentioned, all you people, 5 different types of NDT. But the main one I want to get across to you people, you guys do the work. QC doesn't do the work, you're subcontractors. Our main job, if you think about it, sell your work. Okay, QC in the 21st century has come a long ways, but it gets back to the basic statement here. We do all this plus other things, but we have to sell your work, gentlemen. The inspectors go aboard the vessels either by request from you people, and we take a look what's happening. Okay? At the end of the day, surveyors come on board, classification societies, they come take a look around the tank, everything is well, they sign, the ship sails away. My saying to the people I have in my office, money, 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 honey, honey, honey. That's all it is, guys. Simple terminology. How you achieve that is up to you guys. You can make it difficult, you can make it simple. But at the end of the day, QC has to sell your work. Literally. Any questions on that? Okay, I'll start my presentation here. Gives you some idea of what we do in the dry dock. Call this simple glance at QC. Our quality policy statement is shown in our office. 100% customer satisfaction. That's what we achieve. That's one of our goals. Our quality objective, as I just stated, customer satisfaction, 100%. Gentlemen, plates come in the shop. We have to check the heat numbers before anything is burnt. The 2 types of materials we have in the dry dock, majority of usage is EH and grade A. We also have LT steel and grade B. Hence, we have to check the certificates before the plates are burnt. Verification with the drawings is a must. Hence, we have a color code that we're instituting back into the dry dock. You noticed years ago, some of you old people here, grade A used to be red. The last couple of shipments we had come in was gray. That's going to be finished next month, hopefully. A little bit of confusion. These are some of the instruments our QC guys use. Gauges. One of the main problems we have coming out of the stores, we have a lot of pittings. Pittings in the plates that are stored in the lower pods. This is the way we check it. We check the tolerances and what's allowed. Let's go. We have a set of standards, as we mentioned, that we try to follow every day. And we try to make sure that you guys are aware of them. If you make mistakes, this is what you follow, guys. Talk to our QC people. Our inspectors are on board every day. I'm sure they can help you out. On your drawings, as our inspectors go aboard, check the material grade, the thickness, revision numbers are right, and see if there's any post-well heat treatment required. Drawings are the key. Revisions, you make sure you have the right one, and we encourage our inspectors to be very vigilant with this. Reading of drawings is very important. As I mentioned, material grade, copper nickel, could be carbon steel, could be duplex. Verification, post-well heat treatment, NDT, non-destructive testing. Very important. And gentlemen, I threw this in there for a little laugh. When you mark a revision on a drawing, you do not have to follow every little detail. This actually happened. We usually put a cloud on a piece on a plate if there's a revision, but our preparator was pretty conscientious, don't you think? He drew the cloud. This is our burning process. Notice the bevels going on the pipes, coming through the cutting stations. There's our QC in action, doing some dimension checks. And gentlemen, this was quite an achievement. We just finished 2 rigs for Acker, and our dimensional control team did a fantastic job. I have a best fit program, and some of these blocks that went together were well within tolerance. And the overall load of that block and that units was fantastic. Dimensional checking, as I mentioned, there's a lot of new equipment in-house now. Markings, shrinkage allowance. We're building some seismic vessels right now. We're having some problems, but we'll be all sorted out. We have 8 of them to do. First 2, we're learning quite a bit of them. We're working with 10 and 11 milli plate. Of course, you get a lot of shrinkage in that area. Requests for dimensional checks can be done on 436 for your subcontractors. We're here to help you guys. You have to put your hand up if you got problems out there. We know you have problems every day, okay? Good welding is required on the plates when we're tying together. Tack welds need to be maintained minimum distance from free edge. Good practice of tacking. Notice the free edge. Some of the tacking, our boys have noticed, is not up to scratch. I'm just showing you some examples here. Bevel checking with our gauges. Notice the bevel. Misalignments, very important. Pipe, high-low gauge. Notice the bevels. The main thing about pipe, for you pipe fitters in here, is the gap, penetration. That's what QC watches. This is just one of the gauges we use. High-low gauge is called. Your companies should have them in your shops. Again, the boys checking the root gaps. We like to close them up. Notice the rough cutting here. All kinds of things a good QC guy can pick out, eh? Uneven gaps. Irregular, we call them. Excessive gaps. Any questions on excessive gaps, speak to our welding engineers down there. They have a new process now, working with a little bit of ceramics. So we need 5 to 7 milli gap, but anyway, we try to keep them tighter in regular fit-ups. Visual inspections is the inspections we do. Reinforcement, lock welds, fillet welds, sizes, throats, legs, and sharp edges, guys. The reason why I mention sharp edges, paint these days have a tremendous implication on steel work. Years ago, it wasn't so much, but now you have to grind all sharp edges. It's a big pain for everybody, but it's got to be done. Any kind of tools to measure this? There you go, some of the welds we're getting. Bad cutting here. Good back gouging, guys. That's one of the things QC and the superintendents check all the time, what kind of root we're getting. How deep is the gouging? Reinforcement checking on your plates. We like to have it below around 3 to 5 milli. Here's some of the instruments our boys use, checking for lock welds. Should have those in-house. Again, checking the fillet size, using the gauges. All your QC guys should have these. Very important. You've got heavy steel here. You've got about 3 or 4 runs weld here. Looks good. Checking the throat size. Notice where he is. Sharp edges, guys, very important for paint. Okay? It's got to be clean. We can't get away from it. NDT, I spoke about that earlier. These simple processes we go through to try to sell your work. Either a vacuum test, Pennant test, NPI, UT. A lot of UT these days, guys. We're getting away from the x-rays. It's all according to the superintendents, the surveyors we deal with. But there's more and more UT work being done. It's a lot better equipment out there than it was years ago. And of course, the old regular RT. And pressure test to sail the tank out, sail the ship out. There's boys doing a vacuum test overhead. So surveyor checking. Pennant test. Notice the well is in good shape, but we got a few problems in there. MPI, magnetic parting. Again. And UT, guys. Checking the heat zones around the welds. A lot of this has been done now on the conversions, all the main structural points. Everybody wants UT done. Check the heat zones. Very important. And this equipment, we have, I think, 9 guys registered with the dry dock right now as UT operators. And we're expanding on that. We find there's a big market for it right now. MPI, what's required, and UT, what's required, away from the well zones. UT, you need 100 millimeter, guys, each side of your well zones. Doesn't have to be shiny, but as long as you can get the probe to move over to steel. A lot of people make the mistake, they shine and shine and shine. We don't need shiny surface, guys. We just need the rough spots taken off, and so we can move the probe. It's got to be moved smoothly. That's what we need. And of course, the rust for MPI. RT, regular RT, guys. Notice the clusters of porosity in some of these wells. This is some of the other test equipment we use, and using gauges and setup, okay, for our reports. Common errors that we're finding with everybody in the dry dock. The proper root gap, electrode handling. 90% of the problems we had last year with subcontractors. I think you guys have been on some of my presentations in QC. We did 350 x-rays last year, 350 x-rays on subcontractors alone. We had a 40% failure rate. Out of that 40%, 90% of the problem was porosity. And you guys all know, it comes back to porosity is electrode handling. Right here. Cold electrodes, guys. That's one of your big problems. I think I've been enforcing it with your supervision in-house. That's what you got to take a look at. You could get rid of a lot of repairs and you could save yourself a lot of money. Electrode handling, hot electrodes, bake them please. Wrong use of WPSs. Poor housekeeping. Welding on wet plates, not so much in this area, but sometimes there's water. and not following the correct sequence. Incorrect dimensions and incomplete grinding and cleaning. I'll show you some examples here. That must be a Sunday morning job, that one. And look, no welders cleaning their splatter here, guys. And notice the porosity I was talking about. Okay? This is unacceptable if you class yourself as a welder. Lack of fusion, poor root gap, burn through. This actually happened with use of ceramics. Okay? You had too much gap, and the bridging of the plates, the ceramics couldn't close it, and hence you get burned through. I couldn't believe this when I went down and seen it. I actually went down to see this. Like I said earlier, guys, every day is interesting. If you don't find your job interesting, don't stay with it, believe me. Again, back to crack, casting. If you don't use heat on casting, you know what happens. Okay, if you go welding cold, look at this. Proper heat, guys. Steel needs some treatment. I spoke about electrodes. Again, guys, this is totally unacceptable on a ship. Boxes of electrodes. We don't need that, and I'll continually hammer you guys till it changes. Okay? I just need your support. It's not that difficult. Make the guys use the proper equipment. It comes back to your supervision. And it's up to you guys. You drive it. It's hard for us to sell this when you've got a box of electrodes in the tank and an ABS surveyor comes in and says, Kevin, what's going on here? We have to answer to these people. We're in front line. I run across it every day. I hate bringing you guys in the office, but some days I have to. Again, you see, quiver, proper quiver, but not plugged in. Why? Where's the supervision? First thing, you got 10 welders underneath you guys. Oh, QC might come down, but QC also, you got to make sure it plugs in. It's no good, guys. You're halfway there. Let's put it that way. And here's a guy welding with ceramics, and of course, there's water on the deck. You know what happens there, gentlemen? It's called a big crack. Again, the wrong type of material. Remember I mentioned it earlier about looking at the drawings. Okay? This is what's the result of wrong type of material. Okay? Could be a combination of overpressurizing. It could be the combination of material. The drawing was correct, but maybe the preparator didn't do his engineering. Okay? Everybody, you can blame anybody in this game, but these are the kind of things that we want to run across. Gentlemen, that's it for my presentation. Hopefully you got something out of it. And always remember, our QC guys, I think Sergeant mentioned this morning, we have 150 guys on staff. We have all disciplines, and they're on your vessels every day. They're there to help you. We're doing tremendous work with you people in the dry dock. We're educating your workforce. We're bringing you in for an hour, once a month, every couple of months, different institutions. And please do more of that. And once you give you guys the information, supplying you guys with standards, get the message down to your people. I think that's what's lacking. Gary touched on it. Communication, communication, communication. This business is easy to work if you communicate. We give you the information, but get it down to your people. Any questions? Thank you.